process automation. Okay, so if there's a future session that I can actually do that, the RPA part. Okay, so I'm actually the MVP data platform MVP. The certificate, you can ignore it. And I did have some writing in my blog, the blogs that writing some anything, right? So I've written a lot of databases, query, SSIS, machine learning, and so on. You can actually go and visit. Okay, so let me just get started. Okay, I also have seen, I think later on, I believe there's a session to talk about schedule flow in detail, but I will just go to the high level on this one. Okay, so basically, I will go into it may be a repeat, but I will go into what is actually Power Automate and what is actually a Power Automate connectors. So later on you will see, what can Power Automate connect to, right? And what is actually the automate flow. Previously, they call it automate cloud flow, right? But no, yeah, I think recently call it automate cloud flow, right? They are the same inter-exchange some or like instant flow, right? You will see somewhere also called instant cloud flows and so on. Basically, they're the same. Okay, so the business process flow, I will just briefly go through, also review all. Okay, and also the problems. Okay, I will show you the problems. Okay, the interesting parts that what I have been facing and what you will be facing when you actually doing this Power Automate. And I believe, yeah, so that will actually lighten your pain when you start doing, really go into the full time and do Power Automate, right? Okay, so what I will not cover in detail here, I will not cover in detail is that the expression on the individual so-called the steps. All this I will not cover in detail. The one you can actually refer later on. You will roughly find this area, but I will not cover because there are too many expression formulas and I wouldn't cover that part of it. Right. So okay. What is actually Power Automate? So there's a lot of assignment out there and good and bad, so I believe the world and also the so-called the trend. The trend has actually moved into talking about low code and no code, right? So how less code you can achieve your task, right? And really, is it really a no code? You can actually achieve the task. Yes, depend on what task you're doing, right? They are so-called I believe everyone is using Microsoft Office pretty heavily, right? Pretty heavily on Microsoft Office. So when you are doing Microsoft Office, you have those data you want to exchange and so on. You want to automate them, right? So I believe Power Automate is one of the very useful automated tools, especially you use it together with a very old component in Office 365 called SharePoint, right? So SharePoint is still pretty useful because it has been there for a while. People might have forgotten about that SharePoint thing, right? So it's pretty much to combine the Office 365 application with SharePoint and Power Automate. I believe there's where the powers kick in, right? The real power kick in, right? So that's Okay. So what does the Power Automate actually what it does, or what the Power Automate will do for you? Okay, so it will actually automate the process, as I mentioned, right? Especially user can connect to Office 365 application, and also you can actually connect to like Gmail, Dropbox, and so on. That you will see the connector later on. But I believe a lot of people is still, yeah, pretty much on Office itself, no, the flow, especially approval flow. I purposely, actually, the demo I have, I didn't prepare the approval flow. Is that because I have seen a lot of approval flow demo in YouTube. Right, so you can just pick one, you can just do it. I will show you that the one that I've done previously, just a step. Just a step that I have one. There are few that I have done it previously, right? So using the Automate Pro, Power Automate Pro. I will show you that in a while, right? I believe I can still find it and show you that. Okay. I will show you quite a little bit of demo, right, on instant flows and so on, right? So I will actually show you that. Okay. So okay, I don't want to read through it. Okay. So there are connectors that you can connect to, right? So after this session, right, you at least you know where to actually get started on what is that and where to get started. And I want to try out whether that helps my company. So is there any ROI and so on? Because there are a lot of people, the CIO, CTO, they are actually talking about, oh, no code and low code. Okay, to me, I'm still to me, I'm a very relaxed section. To me, I'm still pretty hard code, web API, Blazor, the kind of from web form all the while to Blazor kind of a programmer. So yes, I also get into this no code stuff. Okay, so let me just do a demo of this, right? So let me switch it to my page. Okay, now when you start your Office 365 nowadays, okay, another thing is that if you have been using Office 365 all this while, then you realize that here they are pretty much the changes has changed quite a bit here. I mean from uh, before to until today, right? So it's a bit there's a bit changes here. So where do you actually find Power Automate, right? So Power Automate last time is called Microsoft Flow. If someone remember, it's actually Microsoft Flow. They actually came out with as so now they actually renamed the Microsoft Flow to Power Automate. Right? You won't be able, if you go to YouTube, you still able to find Microsoft Flow. That is actually today's Power Automate. So if you click app here, sorry, you can't. I also cannot find it here, right? So last time you can see app, you see all app, then all the app will actually come up on the center of your page, right? But now it will not. It will not. So you have to come out here and you go and see. Either you say all apps, right? You scroll, or you already see when you go up here, you see Power Automate. So you click Power Automate, you actually come to the Power Automate page, right? Hopefully it won't take out a lot of my bandwidth. Okay, we all having this bandwidth issue. Okay, so this is the Power Automate page. Okay, this is again the new one. I have some tips for you, right? So where do you find the connector, right? So you click connector here. Okay, you click the connector here, right? So you click the connector here, you can actually find they are pretty much connector down here. Okay, again, the standard connector you can use. Okay, you see that you can actually choose all the connectors. Then you see a lot of this, don't know what is that, the kind of thing. Okay, I want you to be aware of you are the first time user. Okay, so pretty much you go to the standard connectors. This one is actually uh free to use. If you are the Office E3 user like me, right? You get to use this for free. All the connector is actually free here. Then you will ask me, how do you know it's free? How do you know it's not free? Okay, let me tell you how is the thing not free look like. And we are all the data platform guys, right? So I think all of us tonight here, we are data platform guys. So the first thing we want to look at the connector is actually SQL area, right? So that is I wouldn't say standard, I would just say old connector, right? Okay, so you see Azure SQL database, right? Right. So once you see Azure SQL database, you see the word premium down here, right? Premium down here meaning that you need to pay extra. Okay. Same thing that a lot of people like this thing called a database. I believe you have. See, you have a database, right? Or database, whichever you are coming from. You pronounce it differently, right? So the database here is also premium. Right? Someone has to asking me this question. So before you ask, I tell you tonight. Okay, so yeah, this tool is not free, right? But the rest of the standard here, that which most importantly, the common one we are using. Okay, let me get rid of this here, right? Okay, this guy, SharePoint is free. Okay, Outlook is free. Power BI, this is important, is free. Okay, so of course the rest of the Microsoft Office suite component like Excel, Word, they are free. So you don't need to be too tense. Oh, would that be also need me to pay extra? No, for that you don't have to. Okay, so let me just move back to my slide a while. Right, so that are your connectors, right? That are your connectors that you can get. Okay, I will quickly go through the okay, desktop pro I wouldn't cover. That's why I put it a different color. I will not. Desktop pro is actually the RPA. I'll tell you what is that, but I'm not going to cover in great detail, right? If there's another section, then really I would like to go through all the RPA, what you can do, what is the use case, first, and so on. Because the RPA itself is enough to talk about 40 minutes to 15 minutes, or even 1 hour. So depend on the content, right? So I will leave that power desktop flow in detail in the coming session with you guys, if I still have a chance to talk with you guys. Okay, so the first thing, right? So there's a use case, right? So every flow you must know when and how to use case. So the automated flow, right? So when you talk about automated flow, is that is triggered, right? The word here, right? Triggered, right? Triggered by an event, right? What is the event? The event can be creation of a file, right? It can be, when you receive an email, right? So all these are actually the event. It's triggered by the event, right? So that is then you actually automated flow, then you run. That is automated flow. When you want to create Power Automate. So automation target, is either it depend. You can actually uh use a connector from on-prem or on cloud. They actually able to talk to each other, but not as straightforward, right? So sometimes, right? So you need some know how to create the gateway between them for some of the things, just like Power BI. If you Power BI, you want to get the data from your on-premise database, you need actually the gateway, right? The Power BI gateway, right? For example, right? If I have a chance, I show it to you on that. Okay, so where do you look at? Okay, I let you look at the screen first. Later, I'll go into the demo, and you will actually see this screen, right? This screen. Okay, so when you create the automated cloud flow, right? The new one is called automated cloud flow, right? And also previously also known as just automated flow, right? And people will still be using the term automated flow. So all these are interchangeable. So you have to, yeah, sometimes in people talk, they say, oh no, it's wrong, it's not. Yeah, they are the same. Okay, so you can see that if you later I'll show you the live one. So basically this is how you look at it. You just want to create this automated cloud flow, right? So this will be how it looks like. You can see that, when you're creating an item, right? Why I use a static screen to show you first. I want you to capture and put it in mind. That, see, when a file is created, this one I will demo to you. Then the flow will be automated, right? When I drop a file in one folder, then it will automatically copy it to somewhere else that I want you to copy. This one I will show it to you, and if receive an email, for example, then you actually do something, or you actually when you create an item, right? If you know this in the SharePoint, SharePoint, you can define your own SharePoint list, right? Not the list. They come with something called list, and they come up with something called Power Form. Those are the new things, right? List, Power Forms, and so on. But the SharePoint itself, you can actually create a SharePoint list, right? It's a kind of a form that you can do pretty much thing on it, right? You can you even use a SDK to. For my time, I use C song, right? If someone can remember what is that, right? So it's actually C sharp SDK. I have not been using it for the past 2 years, 3, right? So yeah, because once my project ends, the thing is running. Then after maintenance for a while, the internal people they took over, right? So I haven't actually seriously look into that part. Okay, but anyway, that's another story. Don't bring you to another place. Okay, so there is a automated cloud flow. Okay, another thing is the instant flows. Right? What is instant flow? Right? Instant flow is there's something that you need to trigger by your own, right? Click a button in the SharePoint files location. You go and click the dot dot dot. They actually show it to you. No worry. You will click the three dot, right, in your file item. Or you don't, what is that? You just keep that in mind. I will show it to you, so no worry. So you can automate whatever task or repetitive tasks from your. You can use the desktop, mobile, everything. Also, okay. The Instant Pro is quite flexible. Somebody even use the hard button, no? Really put the button on the table that you can really push the button to trigger the floor in Power Automate. You haven't seen that. I tell you, someone is actually doing that. Okay, so there are wide range of you can do request for approval, request for whatsoever. I will do a file transfer for you. I also have a sample for you to see later on it. Okay. Let me go to the. Okay. So when you create an instant cloud flow, all right. Okay. Another thing is the instant cloud flow can also put in your Power app. Okay, this is something I actually, you see, you can manually trigger. This is what I will demo to you. This one you can actually do. If you have a Power app, if you have a Power apps, you can actually put a button in the Power app to trigger the flow in here. Okay, so that's another thing that you can do. There are pretty much things that we can actually go into if you really want to. I hope you all can get into the wherever that I have to post the video, put the question there, what section, what else do you want to see. right, in the coming section also. So then we will have a better preparation for some detail in some of these things for you guys that seeing the webinar. Okay, so Power Apps. Okay, so Power Apps, there's also what is especially Power Apps and so on, right? So actually it's very simple, right? If you are the guy that using a lot of SharePoint lists, not the list, the list that you created in SharePoint with the columns and so on. If you have been doing that and you have a mobile, right? You are trying to open the SharePoint list in a mobile phone, then you know what I mean, right? So the Power Apps is basically come out to address that problem from Microsoft, right? You would then Power Apps, you can actually you go and take all the SharePoint columns and put it there, and yeah, you will have a very nice interface in mobile. In badly, right? That is actually solves the problem that we're actually struggling for years, right? To use mobile to open SharePoint directly and key in the data to SharePoint, right? So that's slightly out topic of this as well. So just moving on, right? So that's where the Power App story actually coming from, right? So okay, so okay, I will do a demo for the Instant Pro, right? Uh, okay, I will actually do a demo as well. I think there's some the automated also. I have the demo. Let me show you the demo, right? I come back to here. Okay, now when I come to my flow, I have not been very serious, but I have been playing a lot, quite a bit of these things. I've been playing quite a bit. Why this guy didn't come out? Are you guys still? I think I'm still good, right? Yeah. So okay, it's out here, come out here, right? So just make sure that I don't disconnect it because the internet connection has not that good. Okay, now you can see straight away from here, right? This is what the flow that quite a bit of things that some already disabled, right? So you had to active activity suspended, right? For some of these things that I created some time back, also this for approval share list. I can't find my approval. Maybe it's not in this account. Yeah, I have few account also. You can I created back then and now. Okay, now anyway. So you can see from here, right, what I want you to pay attention to this page is that see here, right? So you have a lot of have been playing a while, you have seen that okay, this is this is the instant flow. You need to manually trigger. Okay. Okay, this is actually scheduled, right? It's a scheduled flow, and this is automated flow, right? So the kind of the thing, right? So now, what I want to show you is the scheduled flow. I haven't come to it. I come to it later. Since I was talking about the automated flow, right? So automated flow. I open one. Oh, okay. If I click on this one, I believe it's this one. Right? Let me try to get okay. You click edit. Oh, today I can edit. Yesterday I cannot edit. Okay. All right. So what I will actually show it to you is also you have to get ready. You have this kind of problem when you use Power Automate, right? Uh, of course, when you use Visual Studio, you will also face some kind of problem for sure, right? But like last night, I actually cannot click the edit here. I don't know why. I can't. And what I ended up to do is that I actually come here to click the edit on it. Then I can. So you actually don't ask me why. So you may face this problem, right? Because the back end of this is fully managed by Microsoft themselves, right? You don't know that some guys sometimes when they are applying, when they do some maintenance, right? During certain hour, you might need to be a bit patient. something might be broken, something, right? Not, of course, they will make sure that this hardly happens, but sometimes it's very hard to say, right? Like if you remember, I think 2, 3 weeks ago, right, the Teams actually out. Microsoft Teams has been out for hours, something like that, right? So if you're using, okay, the disadvantages is that of Power Automate, right? So I don't want to say what is wonder, nothing can beat it and so on, but there is advantages and disadvantages, right? Everything, right? So everything that you are actually the kind of strategy that you're going through, right? The strategy that you're going through, right? The kind of the architect that you're using, there must be advantages and disadvantages, right? I know, oh, this is the best thing, you don't have anything to, no. Unfortunately, there's no silver bullet, right? So if you are the guy that that work as long as myself in IT, then you would know, right? So yeah, I started my IT career in 1989. That's the thing. Okay, okay, how do you actually get to here, right? Let me just show you how to create first before you get to here, right? You must know that how you get to here, right? So you are having a flow here, right? You say new flow. Remember I show you those screens just now. You I say automated cloud flow is here, right? So you see you'll be loading around here. This is where I was showing you on the slide. So you have more things down here, right? So I give you one example. Like example will be like yeah, when you an email arrive in Gmail, Gmail, right? And then you can try, So arrive from Gmail, then you can what you will can do, right? So for example, that's automated flow. When something happen, it trigger a set of the step that you are going to automate. Right? So that is called automated flow. That's why it's called, right? So that's how you created. So you see that I actually created this automated flow. So what my automated flow here is doing actually, you can edit this guy. You can see, very simple, right? This one is very no code. No code, okay? So no code meaning that, okay. But you must know that where is your SharePoint list. I actually pick up a file when it's created, okay? When the file created in this folder, then I will actually copy to another folder. The approving folder, for example, just for you to okay, for you to see, right? So you actually come out, then I mean, okay, don't get right. So whether this thing is working or not, okay, it's saying that I have this one is actually active, right? It's right here and seeing that, okay, this guy I think is running, right? If not running, you will be saying that, activity suspended. Suspended, you can actually so-called activate it back, right? But yeah, you can actually do that. So some of it I actually activate it back. You can actually reactivate it. It's not issue because Microsoft think that because all this flow you put there is going to cost some money. Then you will come to at the back end. There's a process running. If too long it didn't run, okay, if I automate, you must know that Microsoft will actually suspend the activity for you. Okay, just to let you know. So then you know that this few guy that I have actually, 1 minute ago, 1 day ago, or 6 months ago. So you can see, okay, now. Okay, so okay, I had this role, right? You say, oh, whether this role running or not, you created this role, whether it runs, right? Okay, let's see, If I come here, I go to my SharePoint. I go to my SharePoint. If I go to my SharePoint, that's why I say it's okay, okay, no, wait, don't know where is my proof of concept? You must know, okay. You can see I've done a lot of things with SharePoint actually. But anyway, so not all this here. I just want to find, okay, this is a guy. Let's say why I know this is a guy, because when I was sorry. Hi, hello. Okay. When I was here, right, I will remember, if you can remember, right, when I opened this step here, they call it step, This one is quite step. When I open the step here, right, they actually saying that, okay, this is the path, right? This is the path, and you see this is proof of concept. That's where I get my SharePoint, right? So this is the guide, right? So this is the document library. So you should expect me to have two folder, right? One is pre-approved, right? Okay. If by all means, if I want to just drop something in here, I want to drop, if I have any file explorer, yeah, I have what is here. Okay, this is some anything. Okay, anyway, I just come here and just say, uh, other, see what document I want to, just simply drop one, right? I just simply drop one. How big? I don't want it to be too big. Okay, 736. Okay, so I just want to upload and just throw one file. Simply throw one file into the pre-approved folder, right? So it is done, right? Actually having something called this guy. This guy is just a few seconds ago. I dropped it here, right? And just now I forgot to show it to you that here I don't have the file, right? So in a while that you actually come over to here. However that I drop in and created there, then you actually come to here, right? So of course it will take a while for the flow to actually work, but it should be automated. Hold on. To see whether it comes over the 700. Uh-oh. Created and copy in, is it the same thing? Okay, let me just create another file. Okay, I create a new one, right? Okay. Okay, this one I drop. Okay, so it should be created. So let me just create another file. So I say new. That's this one sometimes you have to play with all these funny things. Right? So I put a new Excel document, right? So Excel workbook, right? It's called workbook, right? So I say test row then, test row. Okay, when I go test row, then I'll say, okay, I close this guy. I should have an Excel workbook here, right? Okay, so I go back to the approved folder here. You see, last night I tried, it's still okay, but let me see. Am I suspended on? Let me see whether my flow. This is live demo is like this one. Let me go into okay. I just go back here and just see what is the problem with. Definitely this flow, right? Oops, shit. Oh, nice. It's going to take some time. Let me see what other option I can force it to. No, instant flow. I can force it to run. Right. So run history, I can see. I have trouble, right? And I can see a run history. I should have two runs successful, right? By now, 10:38. So let me just go back there and see. Uh, this is how you see it. So you go back there to my document here. See? The two file has been coming in, right? So it's not instant, So it just have peace of mind. You drop it there, you just forget about it. It should come here, but when it doesn't come here, you can come to the history and see whether it runs. Actually, it runs. Okay. Once you see the history here, your flow is supposed to run. Okay. So that is where the this is an automated flow, right? So let me just show you the instant flow. What I mean by instant flow? Like if I go to again SharePoint, any items, I believe, right? I just want to go to this any files here. I have one file here, right? Paper engineering. Okay, so okay, before this, what is my this thing doing? What is my instant flow doing? Just go back to my instant flow. Right? This guy, I believe. Okay, I go and edit this guy, right? So you can actually see, I have uh, selected item. Again, from this library, SharePoint library. Okay, from this document library. Okay, SharePoint library. Yeah, the name is document. So that's the library. So I want to get I want to get a file. Right. This is some later on. I will tell you that in the problems that actually facing by Power Automate developer. If you get rid of this step here in the middle, you only have for a selected file and copy file, right? It will not run and it will not have error. So you need to be familiarized when you're doing Power Automate development. Really, you need to put in the time in, and if you have to know the problem, just like SSIS. If you are SSIS, same thing, right? SSIS Web API, Blazor or Angular JS, I don't care. There is a pattern that a developer need to recognize, right? There's a patterns that the developer need to recognize, which is the abnormal patterns like this, right? Meaning that if I remove this, I don't know whether they have done the improvement. If I remove the middle step here, the thing will still run and there's no result and there's no file copy. If you don't believe me, right, you just go back and try it later on, right? And you remember the step here, right? Select a file. You don't want to get from this, you straight away copy to this folder, particular, this folder, Asia Camp 2021. Okay, why I'm a bit family, I've been doing this demo since 2021, right? So that's why I actually showing it to you. Okay, now. Okay, so if I come back to any one of this, when I come down to the dot here, I can see automate. Then I will come out, you see or not, that I have a instant flow. I can click on the instant flow here. I trigger the instant manually, right? So this guy, okay, before I trigger this guy, it take a while. I think my internet is a bit slow. I hope it will not impact you guys hearing me, Hope you guys were hearing me fine. Okay, before I trigger this, I go back to here, the folder here, right? So I was saying I am going to copy a file to here, right? So you only see that I have two files like this. One is a MP4, another one is a test row, right? And you see I just test it sometime back. I test it, why July 1? Or the file is created July 1. Actually, I tested it last night. Yeah. So anyway, so when I go back to here, I see, as I said just now, when I come back to here and I click the dot dot dot, I click the automate, then I click here, then I click run. For now, it's still okay. So I say run now, right? So click run now. This guy is saying that okay, I already done the file for you, right? So you don't have to remember. You can have some flow one. I don't always need to go and select this. So I go and find the folder where I want to copy. I have a flow that I want to dump a whole file in that location. Sometimes you can actually add the action in between, the step in between to convert the file to PDF before you dump them and so on. Okay, or you can actually extract the data. This is a very worst case, very very detailed task before you dump them and so on. That's the use cases. When I come here, you see, I actually having this thing here, right? So these are the working flow, right? So-called the power automate flow. All right, so that uh, was the demonstration on the automated flow as well as the instant flow. Let me just go back to uh, the slides, okay? I guess this is the last one that I would do a demo to you before I do some conclusion, right? So I will give you some time back as well. Okay, so schedule flow, I think is pretty much uh, This one is just one example, right? You can when the schedule and automated such as daily upload file to SharePoint or a database or sending your email, right? Sending your email, right? So the example that I'm giving you is that I actually having a send mail thing that I let it run, you know. I try to get some ask Microsoft to spend some money to send me a nonsense email every night. So you will see that later on. I'll show it to you. So basically, when you create a schedule cloud flow, what you will see in the first page is already telling you, right? Schedule. So they will actually give you what time you want to run when. That name definitely you need to put in. Then you just have to say what time you want to run. Right? Start. Right? Running this flow start from when? Are you not going to repeat every 1 minute, every 1 day, and so on? But this is the default, right? I will try to show it to you here as well. Right? And I'll just right away and go to a demo that before I go to the business flow. I give you one more demo, right? I give one more demo is that I give you one more before I give you one demo, I also show you this, right? You can see in my Gmail, right? This is the guy that he was sent to me every day. Right? I have done this demo in the Power BI Summit as well, right? The UK one. Uh, so you can see that, no? This guy will actually send me an email every night, right? So where is this how I create this, right? Okay. Okay, so I will actually come back to my flow here. This guy. Okay, so where is my okay. Okay, this guy, okay, I think actually I see what's the content. I don't know what's the content. Yeah, this is a guy, right? So you actually show me that, no, you can see the email. I only had to say every 1 week. I change you 1 week. So every day, then I will say every day I will actually do it. So I will send it every day. The kind of thing. So every 1 week I will just ask Microsoft to send me an email. You can actually do it every day, you can do it every month and so on. Right? So that's what I will ask this guy to do. For example, actually you can actually test it up if you want to. Right? You can actually test it. Okay. Okay. The another thing is that I don't know whether this is working or not. I will just test it. Right? Now I'm manually, I just test it. Right? Okay, it's actually running the flow for me. Right? Okay. So I say run flow. That's it, okay, run. So I can come back to my Gmail here. You can see a lot of this is really see right away I received an email. Okay. So that is the how you actually use sorry.
No, Ming, actually, I want to
At some
understand
point.
that after configuring the workflow, the email notification
Uh-huh.
has sent to your email. After configuration the flow, the email
Uh-huh.
notification has sent to your inbox, right?
No, it's not. This one is that I want to actually okay. The scenario of this one is that okay. When I want this my
Execute the
the
process.
Power Automated Flow to send me an email every day regarding something, right? To remind me of something, or every week to remind me of something. Let's say I need to back up a database, right? So I will say
Okay.
it is time to back up the database, right? Database, for example, right? Then every week
Yes.
I will receive an email. Yeah, just a reminder of myself.
Okay.
Yep. So so that is the use case there.
Okay. That's the
So
use
because
case.
if you yeah yeah. So if you have the operator, okay, the use case is as such. If you have the set of operator, like some of the banking, industrial, insurance, industrial, they will do a lot of, sometimes they have to do a manual backup, or they will need to manual trigger data extraction, between the different server, the mainframe server and the PC server, for example, right? They have like some of the bank, I don't want to use the name, some of the bank that we are working with is a Japanese bank. They actually have I think around 10 operators. There is just to do this kind of routine work. So this thing, it can actually trigger something to remind the checker to check, or remind the operator to just carry out the job. Yeah. So that is the purpose of sending, you can actually send them a reminder. If you want to send yourself a reminder to pay a bill, right? To pay a bill, then you can actually put one of these, create a flow here, and say, okay, every 29th of the month, send me an email. Then I have to say, okay, then I will remember to pay my water bill, electric bill, and so on. Right. Yeah. So it's really fun though. So okay. Now
Thank you very much.
no problem. So okay. I believe this one will high level cover this, right? So why you ask me why you only high level cover this? I want to see demo. Sorry, I can't demo to you because this one need to pay money, right? So business process flow is not free, right? Again, it's not free, and business process flow is actually consists of a flow. Just now you have seen multiple flow you combine together to come up with a set of process, like campaign, no? Like no sales campaign, then you different flow you put in, right? So normally this one they will actually work together with especially Dynamics 365 processors, right? They will put Microsoft Dynamics 365 processor into here normally, right? This is a business process flow, right? So not the very day-to-day that people will use it. The day-to-day what people would do are those no automated, instant, and schedule, and also actually desktop flow. But desktop flow is actually flow into the RPA. I show you this. I believe I have some. I show you in the future, right? So I think I have. See, I have. Yeah, I have quite a bit here also. I have Windows form maintenance, so uh I have some website recording and so on, right? Which is I will actually can actually go and install a client here, right? If I click here, I say a desktop, power method for desktop. That is actually the RPA part, right? The one I will cover in another section, right? In another section, I can actually the whole section just cover this one. Because it's a very, very, very detailed, very, very complicated thing. Quite kind of a complicated thing. Okay, so okay, this is how you actually create the able to create a business flow. You see, you need a data set. You need a data container. It's not a day-to-day very straightforward thing that you would do, right? Okay, I will at last I will actually just quickly go through review on the what if you are a developer, what you are facing, right? I think one of it I told you just now is that okay, we have no error, but the flow is not working, right? So that is the worst thing that you will encounter if you're really doing Power BI, Power Automated. I believe you get ready to face this problem that I was facing, right? And also item in the so-called flow template, right? You can say, okay, sometimes some of the people, right, from somewhere come and uh, tell you, oh, you have a flow template, you can go and that is why I didn't actually mention a lot about the templates. You have a lot of templates, right? But how useful are that template? The templates, how useful are they? You have to judge. Some of the templates is actually obsolete. When you put it there, when you run it, it actually straight away show you error. right? So you can go and try it out. Okay? So all these things you have to get ready. Okay, so there's no data and there's no error. The same thing. There's no error, but it's things working, but there's no data coming in, right? Okay, and SharePoint get item, right? And get items, they are different. All these terms that you need to get used to it. You will see sometimes there are some steps, the action that in Power Automated. They are pretty similar, right? Some of it call get items, some of it call get items. Those things you have to really, or else you choose the wrong one, you go and struggle the whole night or whole morning, the thing will not come out, will not run, but because you're actually doing the wrong thing, right? So all these are the things that you are facing, right? So this is the example I'm giving you. Like this template, right? This send email is no longer working in the template. You can go into the Power Automate templates to find, right? To start with a template and find the template. Definitely, if you can still find this one, I can tell you this one will not work anymore, right? You have to use the Outlook send email to work. Gmail, this one is a different thing. This one, right? This one is obsolete and it will not work. See, this one I'm showing you. I've gotten the error, right? When I prepared this demo for you guys earlier on, I actually found into a lot of this error. Also, that's right. And at the end, this thing is already obsolete, right? And this one is just now I showed it to you, right? Without the get property, you only have these two. You will not get error, but you will not run, right? Oh, no, sorry, it will run without error, but you will not get the item transfer, right? And this one, I just want to show you that Power Automate is built in Windows 11, right? I would say good luck, right? So I don't know what um, Windows 11, Windows 11 that you have. You can just go into Windows 11 and search for Power Automate. If you haven't installed one, right, you click this guy is totally no response, right? So you need to actually install the Power Automate yourself. It doesn't really come to you like when the time that I tried. Maybe now they do, right? When the time I tried, it really didn't come with. Okay, so just now everything that I have demoed to you, right? I actually block it here. This is a block resources that I have. The block resources that I have, right? These are the blocks that if you want to learn to check out how to actually create exactly what I was demo to you just now, right? Some of it is actually here. You can just go to instead, you can actually try to reproduce. If you have a problem, I guess again people know where to find me, right? You go to my blog, you can leave me a message there, right? I will normally reply your message in the blog, right? This is what case, okay. So I guess I will say thank you and thank you the data platform webinar team. Thank you a lot, Ashan, especially, he approached me and so on. And I hope that I will still share the other thing with you guys next time. I guess that that is all from me. You're on mute, Ashan. You're on mute. You're on mute.
আসাদ
You
ভাই
are
আপনি
on mute.
মিউটে আছেন।
Oh, actually, sorry, Ming, I was muted. Thank you very much. It's a fantastic session, and we have learned many more things from you. And hopefully, we need to know many more things from you. And hopefully, you will give your valuable time with our community.
Yeah. Sure. I would like to have more time to actually play with you guys. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So
Okay.
thank you. So, yeah. So have a good night. So I will just stay a while. Yeah. So bye for now.
It's a late night for you.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
it's 11 p.m. in Malaysia.
Yes. It's almost 11 p.m. in Malaysia. Yes. Okay.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Thanks. Bye
Good
bye.
night. Ming. Thank you everyone for your patience, and we have we have an event on the workflow again, and it will be taken by Hamidul Abidin. And actually, this session is continuously. We are arranging this session is continuously from last few session, and it is the third or fourth part of the our automate workflow, right? Amit,
Yes, this is the third one.
one of the our automate workflow.
Yeah, on the series, this is the third
Sorry,
participant.
we have some delayed happens
No issue.
in the session.
Okay, let's start. I think I'm
Sure.
sharing my screen.
Uh, Amit, can you please give me a minute so that I can start recording?
Sure, sure.